Hello everyone. I am Dada Dharma. In this talk I will explore a number of spiritual themes, namely, spirituality, the importance of struggle in the spiritual journey, and our relationship to the Supreme. I will do this by way of interpreting the words of a song I recently heard. The theme of the song was spirituality and social change. It talked about social revolution being guided by spiritual consciousness. This is a very powerful idea and captures for me the spirit of the times we live in. So let us begin. In the chorus of the songwriter declares, "I'll keep fighting on. If it's the last thing that I do, I'll take that hand, walk through the flames. We've got a job to do." Now I shall speak about the first sentence of the chorus. I'll keep fighting on. If it's the last thing that I do. This line captures the spirit of Tantra Yoga. We are to struggle or fight to overcome our own limitations, our own defects, while at the same time struggling against all forms of exploitation and oppression in the society. This is the very spirit of Tantra, and, I would say, spirituality itself. If we want to make spiritual progress and establish a just world, we will have to adopt this spirit of struggle, this spirit of fight. It's important to be aware of this in one's individual life. If someone has grown up in a very comfortable environment, has not known much struggle in their life, that person may have to make extra effort to develop this spirit of fight. Without this fighting spirit, we end up dominated by the ego, the lower human propensities, and by exploiters in the society. Once again, this spirit of struggle, this spirit of fight is applied internally to overcome our own limitations, defects and depravities, and externally, to fight all forms of exploitation and oppression in the society. Is this fight easy? It may not be easy. In the second line of the chorus, the songwriter has likened this struggle to walking through flames. I'll take that hand, walk through the flames. We've got a job to do. So, we are to walk through flames. How? By taking that hand, then walking through the flames. What hand are we to take? That is the question. A big question in our human life. Is this only a question in human life? No. I would say that it is a question in the life of all developed beings in the creation. That is to say, we are all on the same journey. It is a journey about living beings becoming more developed, more subtle. How are developed beings to do that? Through aligning with the subtle, elevating force in the creation. We call this Vidyamaya in Sanskrit. By aligning with Vidyamaya, the elevating force, one is able to experience the self, the divine consciousness within, and ultimately become one with the Supreme Self, the Supreme Consciousness. How is one to align with this elevating force of Vidyamaya? Through sadhana, spiritual practices. That is why it is important for people to learn sadhana, the various practices of yoga and meditation. Whatever one's age, economic status, level of education or cultural background, the point is the same. We are to learn authentic spiritual practices to develop ourselves physically, mentally and spiritually. So, yes, that hand is there, always there. No matter how deeply we may fall into the Maya, the illusory force of ignorance, that hand is always there. How are we to feel that hand with us, guiding us? We are to feel that everything is the expression of the Supreme Consciousness, the infinite loving consciousness. Then the mind becomes positively charged, and one realizes that the hand of the Supreme is there to help them, ever ready to guide them. There is a universal Sanskrit mantra, Bhavanam Kevalam. The meaning of Bhavanam Kevalam is, everything is the expression of one, infinite loving consciousness. Bhavanam Kevalam. So, even if by dint of one's karma, one might end up in very difficult circumstances, the solution is the same. Let the mind hold the vibration of Bhavanam Kevalam, remembering its meaning that everything is the expression of one, infinite loving consciousness. Sing this universal mantra, go on repeating it in your meditation, Bhavanam Kevalam, and feel its inner meaning, that the essence of everything is infinite love. The vibration of this mantra will help solve many of life's difficulties. Now, that Supreme Consciousness is with us, ever with us, because we exist within his macrocosmic thought projection. This is to say, the Supreme Being has thought the creation into being, and we are all internal to that supreme entity. So, take that hand, hold that hand, learn how to do that, how to get over the complex of shyness, or inferiority, or skepticism. Dogmatic religion taught us to fear God. Spirituality, Dharma, has always taught us to love God unconditionally, as our nearest and dearest and most beloved, as our Baba. You can see that the relationship between the spiritual aspirant and the Supreme is completely personal, the most personal, love-saturated relationship any being will ever have. This is called bhakti, devotional love. So in our human existence, that moment of expression within the vast cosmic cycle of creation, after we have passed through so many millions of expressed life forms, and we then attain this exalted state as a human being, we are then able to consciously realize the purpose of our existence, and of the creation itself, and that purpose is purely and simply to love the Supreme, and the creation which is the expression of the Supreme. Now, when someone becomes obsessed with this love for the Supreme, something happens. Ultimately, they become that infinite love. They become one with the Supreme, as a drop of water becomes one with the ocean. The drop of consciousness merging in the ocean of consciousness is the very meaning of the word yoga. Yoga means union, and this spiritual union happens when the living being falls completely in love with the Supreme. Now, there is another thing. By loving the Supreme, one has to love everything, because everything is the expression of that Supreme Consciousness. The creation is simply the metamorphosis of that Supreme Consciousness, just as water, ice and steam are all simply different forms of the one substance, water. The creation with all its trillions of galaxies, stars, solar systems, planets and myriad life forms in the mundane and supramundane dimensions, are just different forms of the one substance, consciousness. And what is the quality of that consciousness? Love, infinite love. And how are we to express love for all those myriad expressions of infinite consciousness? By serving the world, by serving the Supreme in the form of all the developed and undeveloped beings. It's that simple. We are to develop love in our lives. That is the project. Nature provides us with small steps to develop this love. Firstly for our mother, our father, our family. Then when a little more developed, we develop love for our clan, or tribe, or community, then our nation, then the whole human world. Meanwhile we also develop love for the animal and plant world, then for all living beings, all the while developing love for the Supreme Consciousness which is the essence of everything. This love for all is called neo-humanism. It is this neo-humanism that we are to create on this planet, and to do this, we will have to fight courageously on every level against the vested interests who strive to create a very different world. So, in the words of the song, take that hand, walk through the flames, we've got a job to do. Yours affectionately, Dada Dharma.